What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, The Hype, episode 389. We got a juicy one. Veefriends, Chrome. It's all hyped up. Is it worth it? We're going to look at some of the early sales, and you guys should check out our Gary V podcast that we did last week. If you haven't already listened, it was a really good insight to Veefriends Chrome with Cody here, as well as we're going to look at some Bowman sales we got this week at the hobby, and a lot of miscellaneous stuff to kind of talk about, guys. I will say, you know, we haven't been actually doing that. We haven't done this show in about 2 weeks, and you know, sometimes you come in here and you go through the motions and you're like trying to figure out the best way to have some stories. But I will say, since not doing it 2 weeks, I miss talking to you guys. So it's nice to be back. You know?
I missed it too, man. This is it's, you know, not that the conversation last week with Gary V wasn't a very good one and thrilling. So
it wasn't a very good one.
No, he said it.
No,
not that it wasn't.
Oh man, we're off to a great start.
You know, I thought you were just like, yeah, I had Gary V, and it wasn't a very good one. I'm like,
it's been so long since I've talked to you.
I heard it was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay.
I was going to say, it's been so long since I've talked to you that I've gone from being a dad of one to being a dad of two. So it's been that long.
Did that happen?
It happened in between this break.
I didn't know if you wanted to mention it, but yeah, congratulations.
It's been 9 months since our last show.
That's right. So yeah, it's good to.
No, Cody has babies within a week. It's just there and it's out. Yeah,
that's right.
That's how the genes work.
It's the way to do it.
We do things efficiently around here. Let's get it going.
I got some weird tidbit stories I put in there. A friend of us that has been doing breaks just as long as us, Firehand, put up this post. I don't know if you guys had seen it.
Oh, the All-Star patch that was shipped to him in 3.
The backstory here for the listeners, he bought an Alex Reyes 2022 Topps Triple Thread All-Star Game Jumbo Patch book card 101. So it's the full All-Star patch, and it's a book card in 3 different increments of cards connected by, you know, these little pieces of cleared.
It's like a trifold.
It's a cool card.
Yeah, it's in basically one piece, but it has 3 pieces connecting the 3 cards. Well, he got the card, and it was in a custom magnetic, and they were all cut. So they were no longer connected anymore.
Now it was a 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3.
Cody's confused. You probably have to see the picture.
No, yeah, you know what? I'm getting it up right now here, so also our listeners can see as well. But I am looking at it. You're right. All cut up. So this nice looking, awesome looking patch, all completely cut up. There we go.
You know when you know how it is. Like you want to get it into a mag, and they don't make a mag that's going to fit that. So you just get a custom one.
Yeah, exactly.
Custom one.
And you know you have to sacrifice.
Snip.
Yeah.
There it is to our viewers at home. Alex Reyes, who, by the way, even when I saw him, I'm like, wait, Alex Reyes was an all-star at one point?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Sick card, right? Colorado
Great
patch.
looking card. It's really cool. But yeah, you're right. What the heck?
So
It's a big
obviously
patch,
no mention in the listing, and he gets the card, and he showed it on X that the card was now in 3 pieces. So he said he's initiating the return. So needless to say, just some word to the wise out there. You know, don't cut these cards up, regardless of how it displays. It needs to be intact if somebody's going to buy it.
Well, you should probably, if you do cut it, you should probably and you're going to put it on eBay?
Yeah.
You should probably disclose that type of information in your listing.
And I can imagine, too, because it's the last couple years, the way the book cards look, where it's that very thin, like I feel like it's something I've noticed the last few years. I mean, it's probably been around for a while, but I've seen more of them. The like very, very thin piece of like, I don't even know what material. It's almost like a rubber sort of plastic material.
Yeah, it looks like Scotch tape, but I know it's not.
It's not Scotch tape, but I've been seeing that popping up a lot more where it used to be, you know, like.
It's an element called plastic, I believe.
Yes. Thank you.
Element.
Yeah.
Forgot the name of it for a second.
I think it's called plastic.
Easier to cut through, I guess. So, weird decision.
Yeah, and guys, if you want to get in some soccer breaks this week, we'll get more into what soccer products are coming out this week. But use code SOCCER10 on Mojobreak.com to get 10% off any of your soccer breaks. We've got La Liga Select. We've also got some UEFA, Topps Chrome UEFA this week as well. So lots of soccer breaks coming out. We'll get into that. Also, there was a tweet from Jose Canseco the other day, which, you know, if you follow Jose Canseco, you're prepared for anything. But he tweeted out, "I'm here at the airport looking around, surrounded by idiots, and I'm an idiot. Imagine what our government thinks of us. That's why they completely treat us like rats." And that was his tweets.
That's
I love it.
why
I'm here
they
at the
treat
airport
us
looking
like
around.
rats.
Yeah. I'm here at the airport looking around surrounded by idiots, and I'm an idiot.
I'd like to go through the TSA line with Jose Canseco.
Boy, that
think-
would be
I think that
that'd be a journey.
I think it would be a treat. I think it would be an absolute treat.
I wanted to echo.
And I'm pretty sure he would be wearing exactly what he has with the baseball bat, trying to get
Right.
through the, where they put your hand up.
Yeah.
But he's like, there's no spot from a baseball bat. He's
Yeah.
like, 'cause I just carry one around with me everywhere I go.
my current vibe as we're recording this, it's game 4 is whenever it's like a holiday, Jose Canseco always go like "Merry Christmas to everyone" except for one guy.
Yeah.
And that one guy is Alex Rodriguez.
Always.
Doesn't like A-Rod.
So
but,
go Warriors to everyone except for one guy.
But
Yeah.
Owner of the,
A-Rod
T-Wolves.
was carpooling with Barry Bonds.
That's right.
To the game
Yeah, to watch A-Rod's T-Wolves, of course. He's
against-
minority owner?
against Barry's Warriors.
Yeah, with Barry, no ownership stake.
But
with, the
Barry was
Warriors as of
driving
right
him
now.
around.
Nice.
Barry was his Uber driver.
Yeah.
So Barry likes him, but Jose
Yeah,
doesn't.
well, there was also an interview recently that somebody asked Alex Rodriguez, who is the greatest baseball player in your opinion in history? And without a doubt, he was like head and shoulders above everybody else. It's Barry Bonds.
Barry. It's funny.
Did you get a new Apple Watch there?
Say-
or-
Yeah, a little
no,
twinkle.
I got no. It's a. It's actually a Fitbit Pixel. Yeah, it's
Fitbit's still around. Huh?
Fitbit's
it's
still
a
doing
far superior ride than anything Apple can come up with.
Fitbit's still around, huh? They still
Fitbit
making-
is a
wow.
great company.
Good
It's
for
actually,
them.
you know who owns Fitbit?
Appreciate it.
Google. Google
Ah, that
owns
makes-
Fitbit.
that makes
so
sense that that's
I'll
the
tell you
pivot.
right now, the great people at Fitbit, they ain't going anywhere.
All right.
But yeah, I actually don't like how it's connected to my phone. I just want it to be, I just want it to be like a fitness watch. Just tell
Right.
me how many steps I'm doing. But yeah, I had to retire the.
Now you can look at the emails and everything. On
Oh,
your
I could
watch.
look at
You can do it
everything.
all.
Actually, our Nest Cam pops up on it, and I'm like, I'm trying to make that not happen.
So now
too,
you're like
'cause-
putting it right next to your eye.
well,
you're like,
the issue is that because everything is connected to it, the battery lasts maybe a day.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting notifications for everything that I've ever hooked up to.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might be hearing it in the podcast.
you gotta go through all the settings.
There you go. We got
like
a new addition to the
notifications.
podcast.
Hey. I
So
think I just
we
got
have
enough.
we have a fourth host. Look, I know it's been lonely. We without C-Rad here anymore, and we wish him all the best. But we've got a fourth host.
Got the Googs
with,
watch.
with
the
with
Googles.
the Google Watch.
The Googles watch.
we finally.
We should incorporate AI on some questions here and then because it's getting good. It might give us some humor.
Yeah.
yeah.
know?
No.
Maybe.
I mean, we should be everybody.
Like, what's the best card to buy, Google?
It is. It's at the point where we should be doing AI for a lot more than. I mean, for song lyrics going forward.
Sure.
Is any artist ever going to write their own lyrics
Boy,
again?
I sure hope they are.
I don't think so.
No, it's pretty easy.
I don't think so. I think you're basically going to go into the studio and put in 4 or 5 keywords and be like, "That's my lyrics."
Every day I grow closer to just saying, you know what, the wood, just living off the land of the woods doesn't sound as bad. Maybe I can do
You
it.
want to go off the grid?
Maybe I can do it.
Time to go off the grid.
You know what? I say maybe I can do it, and by day 3, I would be like those guys, like, you know that show Naked and Afraid, where they're just like, every part of my body is sunburned. I forgot. I don't know how to eat anymore. That would be me. It's just like, let alone cook. I don't know what to do. Like, when I put food in my mouth, like, what happens next?
I get it.
I'm
You're-
going camping
you're,
in June. But,
Ooh, nice.
But
What-
we're
what was
getting an
the-
RV, I guess. So
Okay.
everybody's getting an RV now. So.
What was the other
RV
man,
living is the way to go. I love it.
Man versus Wild?
Man versus Wild. Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
Loved Bear Grylls. Loved that show.
Tough to be that guy. That
I
guy.
got very obsessed because we went on a lot of camping and because of that, he's always like, always have flint. Always carry a brick of flint with you. You never know.
I
when
don't
you'll
even know
need
what
it.
that is.
So it's just like a piece of like.
To start a fire, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you'd have like you got to have a piece of flint.
Not in
and,
California.
and a pocket knife, and yeah, you're good.
Start
as
a
long as
spark
you got
and
that.
you got it. Yeah.
As long as you got that, the rest will come. You know, you got that knife,
No.
you can get yourself some meat or whatever, some berries,
Some meat,
berries,
like a squirrel.
sure.
You know how hard it'd be to catch a squirrel?
I haven't really thought
You
that
know,
through.
you know,
As you can see, I haven't thought that far
running
through, but boy, I can start
running
that
around
fire.
with a knife trying to get a squirrel is gonna be.
What a
we're gonna,
sight that
We're
would
gonna
be.
be here a while.
I promise you guys we'll get into some sports card talk here shortly. But I did want to bring up the fact I was cooking a couple tri-tips yesterday.
Oh, squirrel!
And,
Cooking a squirrel.
Cooking a squirrel.
I was cooking it on my Pit Boss, which plugs in and it's a pellet grill. And I was just telling my girls who are very picky with food, I said, we would have never, if we were born 500 years ago, 600 years ago, probably wouldn't have got the tri-tip meat. You know what I mean? We probably would have, because you'd have to find out where the cows are, and then I'm sure the cows were for the rich people, and
Right.
to get the tri-tip and then actually learn how to smoke it, it wouldn't have happened. So you guys should be thankful that I've went to Costco and got a tri-tip and put it on my electric smoker.
How good we have it. Although I will say, if I'm not mistaken, the way ribs used to be given to the poor because they were like, we don't need it. It's the spare stuff. We don't want the ribs.
Is that why it's called spare ribs?
Right, exactly. So,
Oh.
yeah, they're like, we don't need
that's
this
what it
stuff. And honestly, if you put a steak in front of me, or like a really good steak or a really good baby back ribs, I think I might go the ribs. A lot of more often than not.
I just don't.
I think I'd go
don't
steak,
ribs.
but I like ribs.
I
Love a
love
good plate of
ribs.
ribs.
I don't love how they're so messy.
They're messy.
Yeah.
You can't
need the wet
eat
nap.
You can't eat ribs without basically having it all over your face.
Absolutely not.
You can't eat ribs and open up sports cards. That'd be that'd be a fallacy.
That would be bad.
I also feel that a difference between pork rib and beef rib. You don't see the beef rib anymore.
No.
Like the big old
Like the Flintstone ribs.
you don't see that.
Mostly pork.
It's mostly pork. You go to a barbecue place, it's 99% of the time.
It's a lot of work.
Pork
I
rib.
gotta imagine. Probably takes a really long time to do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just too
I
good
think
hours.
I think it tastes better though.
Maybe.
Beef,
Yeah,
a
I
beef
do.
rib.
I do like the beef rib.
You need to go to maybe Texas, get a big old beef rib.
Did you guys buy any of these? This Pope Topps Now card, the Pope Leo XIV, Robert Francis Prevost.
Yeah,
Prevost?
born Robert Francis Prevost or Prevost. Yeah, well, he's Pope Leo now.
Born
so
and
no
raised in Chicago, is now the Pope, and they made a Topps Now card. 133,535 copies. Did you guys get one?
Did not.
I did not.
I feel like I should have.
Top Pope.
Now, I saw it pop up, and my first thought was, again, maybe because he's Pope, my first thought was, is anything sacred anymore?
Yeah.
Did we really need a Pope card? Clearly we did.
133,000.
Said yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we do need a Pope card.
They were like, absolutely.
On top of that, you have, I don't know what they're number two.
Do you
have
think
the
it would have
white
been
smoke parallel, and they said, I need to check it, but they're like, well, we've sold this many copies, which means there's going to be a 1-of-1 superfractor. I think once it went to over 100K, they're like, there's going to be a 1-of-1.
So now they made enough money to make it.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Do you think it would have had the same demand in the sports card world if it wasn't the first ever American-born Pope?
No. I think a huge part of why they did. I mean,
Because when was the
don't
last
know.
Pope? It wasn't that long ago, right?
I did see after he was at the White Sox World Series in 2005.
This is, I think it's a huge part of why it's selling so well. Is one, he's American, and two, he has a direct connection to sports.
Yeah.
Like he is. That was I think the biggest question all day long, when he, at least in social media where we're at, because we're in sports cards and stuff, was, what's his team? Is he a Cubs or a White Sox? Which one?
Well, he's apparently White Sox.
Yeah, and there was about an hour where people thought, oh, he's a Cubs fan. Oh, man, the Pope's a Cubs fan.
And
then
that
his
was, if
brother
I'm
had
not
to come out
mistaken,
and
that
clear
was
the
the
air.
year where Steve Perry from Journey decided that he was also from Chicago and not
Yes.
San Francisco anymore.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then they do the Don't Stop Believing as
Yeah.
well, right?
They did Don't
And then-
Stop Believing.
But don't worry, he came back for 2010.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's. I believe the game they were showing is the game where Scott Podsednik hit a walk-off home run, if I'm not mistaken.
Scott Podsednik.
So they
Fantasy player.
They showed him biting his nails, being as nervous as anybody else.
Former Brewer, I believe.
Yep,
but,
Scotty Potts.
Was that the series where AJ Brzezinski slapped the ball out of?
It was they got to the series because of that against the Angels in the ALCS, where he came down the line
The ALCS
and
Angels.
and it appeared that his hand hit it. It wasn't A-Rod level slap the ball out, but it was like, or it was something weird. There was like him running on the pitch, and it was all in dispute. It was very odd. But yeah, that was it. So clearly, I mean,
do we think that there's a place for like moments in history for these? I mean, there hasn't. I mean, because the last Pope wasn't. Topps now was around when the last Pope was in there?
2013?
Francis was 2013.
Maybe not
That
then,
sounds
but
right.
yeah.
Not quite.
Well, we did have there's been events that they've made Topps Now cards. So they got the famous Bernie Sanders with
Yes,
the mittens.
We have that one.
That's the thing. Is every inauguration there is usually a set that is, regardless of the president. Like we get a set. For some reason, I put on an Obama voice right there. I was like, regardless of the president, we have a set for Topps Now. So yeah, I think, and also you go back to like the sets from like the 70s, and they do it in Heritage where they're like, oh, what happened this year? Like world events in 1977. Like they had those cards back then. So this isn't like totally out of the ordinary.
133,000 copies.
That's right.
Pretty
Crazy.
good. Pretty
nuts.
good.
And
No autos though. They'll have a superfractor.
There will be a superfractor. I don't think they got. Yeah, they didn't get the rights to his autograph.
Yep. But there has to. He has to have autos, right? Like every pope. Every pope has probably autographs, right?
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He's there until he perishes.
Yes.
Passes away. Correct?
There previously.
Could you
had Pope Benedict.
Can you
who-
retire?
He resigned.
Yeah,
And
okay.
that was, I think, they said the first time in like hundreds of years that a pope resigned, and. So yeah, it was because with Jean Paul, he passed away, and he was like pope for almost 40 years.
I saw that. It was
Yeah.
like
He had, I think, the second longest or
like
the longest
70,
reign.
78 to
to like
into 2000s.
yeah,
I think.
to like 2008 or something like
Yeah.
that. And then you got Benedict, and then he said, "You know what? I'm good. I'm Benedict, who I believe is still alive. I could be wrong." And he resigned. So yeah, now you have Francis, and now you got Leo.
Can you spell Pope?
Wait, what's that? Pope?
Then spell yes.
Yes.
Now put those together. What does that spell?
Oh, Popeyes.
There you go. You got it.
I was gonna say
You got
Pope,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, no, wait. I did see Popeyes tweet out the day of. They put up Pope, yes.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening right now? What a strange. It was just. Pope Francis was elected during like the social media age, but like for some reason, it just feels like it's so much bigger now that like everybody had something.
They were just having like a Pope draft.
yeah,
Like there was
NFL
like
Network.
yeah.
All the NFL put up a tweet. I was like, that's funny. It's like they just put up a screenshot of like NFL draft day, and it said Cardinals. The pick is in. And that was it. I'm like, that's funny. It's good.
And this pope, mid 60s,
Late 60s. I believe.
late 60s.
I think he was like 59. I thought when I looked.
69.
16. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we could have him in another 30 years. You never know, right?
But
Could be
yeah, I mean,
99,
it's just it speaks to everybody. I think the fact that he's American, the fact that he's like very like has a sports connection. It's just nothing like this.
First,
So
first American ever. I mean, has there
Right.
ever been an American considered?
I'm sure there has, but like if they're so secret with the
never know.
election process.
I remember the
I
remember
watched-
the tweet was that there was only one day to get a Pope, but it took 3 days for Shadur Sanders to get drafted.
That's right.
So-
That's right. It
Well,
only
if you
took one
watch
day
the
for
movie,
Pope.
Conclave,
yes.
it talks specifically about this.
Yeah.
and it could take a while.
It could take a long time. It has the last one I remember did not happen this quickly. It took about a week.
So we got some new releases this year, guys. This week, guys. We've got Topps Royalty Tennis, which, if you know, Royalty's been a high-end product for UFC as well as basketball, and now it makes its debut edition into the tennis world. I think it's pretty cool. They have the, we're familiar with bat knobs in baseball. They have the racket knobs in, in this Royalty, and we're showing a picture here of a Coco Gauff 101. Which should be in a big demand. We also have Carlos Alcaraz is in there as well. He's a big name. You got Pete Sampras. You got Agassi. You've got all the greats. I'll be breaking this on Thursday, Fanatics Live. It releases Thursday this week, so which is odd. I thought it was Wednesday, but nope, I was told it was Thursday. So we're doing it Thursday for Royalty Tennis. Pick your player on Fanatics Live. Also, Donruss Football comes out. Clearly Donruss Football this week. We will be breaking live in LA at the rookie photo shoots with maybe some players this Thursday. Greg will be down there, and I would get your spots now because there's probably going to be some kind of special stuff, or you're going to get your card touched by an athlete or a rookie or a NFL legend. So be joining those breaks this Thursday on YouTube. So clearly done. We also have La Liga Select Soccer, Topps Chrome UEFA, Flawless Baseball, and 24-25 Skybox Metal. So
It's a busy week.
Busy week again. Just off the heels of Bowman and Veefriends week. But if you guys want to get into those soccer breaks, use code SOCCER10 for 10% off on Mojobreak.com, and that is limited to only 50 uses, 1 use per customer. So load up on those breaks. Chase Lamine Yamal and some others in the soccer world of things. Aaron Judge seems to be off to a pretty good start again. And everybody seems to forget on how bad he was in the World Series. But let's just think that he's going to be
crazy.
Let's going to think how good he is right now, but let's remember that he's a scrub in the playoffs.
So I do want to obviously, whatever. His standing in the hobby is pretty much solidified in stone. But can we not do the whole Barry Bonds comparison right now?
No.
Everybody's doing well, if you take his last 150 some odd games dating back to May of last year, it's but that's not how it works.
No,
it's not how seasons work.
Yeah, when he's doing
you got one season, you got another season.
When he's doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
Then we can
Don't get me wrong. It's incredibly impressive. It's to have him and Ohtani simultaneously doing what they're doing is nuts. It's crazy that we have this right now. And I
mean,
do think we
it
do
would
need
have
to
been
sit back and appreciate that. But let's also not be basically he's 0-3 Bonds. He's but no, he's
It would have been easier to compare him to Bonds if he was wearing the orange and black.
Well, yeah, of course. It's the fact that he
since he's wearing the Yankee pinstripes, nah.
Well, what's also crazy is that he's able to play at the Nuggets games and hit those 3-pointers to win the game, and then go back and fly and play baseball too. It's just he's such an undermentioned two-sport athlete. I know he goes by Gordon when he's playing basketball, but
he puts on a dread wig.
Yeah, 409 batting average, 40 games into his season is crazy. For a guy who is just considered a power hitter.
I'll bet you anything he doesn't hit 400 for the whole year.
But if he does, look, this is where I'll be all right, fine. You want to mention Barry Bonds? You can mention him now.
He has to hit 350.
If he goes to the end of the season, he's batting 350 or to 380, which could happen, and he's hitting 50 to 60 homers, then yes, we can finally have the Bonds conversation.
The Yankees in first place?
They are in first place. Paul Goldschmidt, second in the league in batting average right now, by the way. 349.
Paul Goldschmidt should have probably...
Thought he was done.
He should have been a Giant.
Yeah, he should have been.
He could have played first base.
And A's rookie Jacob Wilson is third, by the way.
Having a good year.
Having a really good year, and I think the A's are if you're looking for a team to get in breaks, I think the A's are criminally underrated.
But they're a AAA team, though.
Yeah, they played. Well, the Yankees just played them this weekend. Did you see Jason Dominguez had a 3-run?
Oh, he did.
3 home run game.
Nice.
Yep, he had a 3 home run game.
The Martian.
Judge had a 2 home run game. So
I am actually not convinced. I don't know if the A's are going to move to Las Vegas.
I don't know
anymore. It's not looking real straightforward for that stadium to be built in Vegas.
They still need about $300 to $500 million in funding to account for.
And the people who live in Vegas don't want the A's. They want an expansion team.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants. Man, if this all ends with all right, we're selling, and Joe Lacob bought the team, and they're back in Oakland. It would just be the funniest end result.
That would be the best for the fans.
It would be the best for everybody, frankly. So,
Judge never met his birth parents. He was adopted a few days old. So there's a chance that Aaron Gordon and Aaron Judge.
Who knows?
Could be brothers.
Look, in Northern California.
Linden, got San Jose,
right,
not too far.
Not that far, kind of, but, not crazy. But, yeah, Aaron Judge is doing it again. It's pretty nuts. So, great, fine, great. The 2 best players in baseball are 2 guys that the Giants almost had. So great, fine, whatever.
The Giants are just struggling.
It's just gonna be
a bad weekend, but
just gonna be a Yankees-Dodgers World Series again, huh? Maybe for the next 5 years.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, if the Mets might have something to say about that. We'll see.
Did you guys get the invitation to go out to Colorado try out, or I was thinking about going out there to the Rockies?
Brother,
that wasn't real, right?
I think it was.
That wasn't real.
No, who knows? But that team is. It's funny how a couple weeks ago when we were doing our Bowman preview, and I think I made the point of, Charlie Condon, but it's the Rockies. This team is so Nothing. Like it's all about like it's fun to go to the ballpark because you can have a beer and look at a nice, pretty sunset.
Okay.
Like
no, you could go to you can go get a Coors Light.
yes,
And
home of it.
And
the
with
entire
the home of it.
allure of that ballpark is go up and I've done
Coors
it. It's
Light
great.
and Rocky Mountain oysters.
Go up to that rooftop bar they've got in right field, watch that purple sunset, have a cold brew, and watch a terrible baseball team. That's what that is about there. That is what they are doing.
I don't think I've ever seen a team be like 6-33. That's tough.
They are pushing it. You can do that and be a 75 win team and be like, oh well. You can't do that and be like a 30-win team. That can't work.
They lost by 3 touchdowns.
They lost by 3 touchdowns. They won yesterday, and then they fired.
Oh, they got win 7.
Yep, and then they fired Bud Black.
And I heard
Right
Clint
after.
Hurdle's going to be the coach again.
He's the bench coach, which makes no sense to me. Just make him the manager. He's the only guy there who's ever had success.
I know.
Like, just
I
make
didn't even
him
know
the
he was still
manager.
there.
Yeah,
Walt Weiss, bring him back.
bring him back.
Dinger.
Vinny
They
Castilla.
should put Dinger as the coach.
At
'cause
this point,
it's-
yeah, but boy, yeah, they're really pushing it.
Yeah, Mike Fruitman, which we mentioned on the show, and then I guess he told me that he heard us mention him, so I'm mentioning him again. Get a text here later. I was like, hey, he's like, well, at least the Rockies are selling for Bowman. And I said, absolutely. I said, we're thinking about having Dinger down for the rip party. You know what I mean?
That'd be
Just
awesome.
having Dinger come down.
Yeah.
He asked me, well, if we're going to have a dunk booth, then he'll be in to come down as well.
Oh.
So, you know what I mean? To
All right.
dunk Dinger.
Dunk Dinger.
Yeah, because
Got it.
It's a lot of D's.
they're-
There's dunk Dinger.
they're not
Yeah.
really, they're not really stoked with their mascot out there.
There's a little animosity.
I
of
get
Dinger.
it.
I get it.
I would trade straight up. I would trade Lucille for Dinger.
How dare you?
No.
Oh, 100%.
dare
I would
you.
take.
Lucille's the best.
Lucille is one of the
God.
actually maybe the worst. I would straight up if I could make that trade. I would love for the trade
now.
deadline to come by and the Giants made a trade.
The worst.
Traded Lucille for Dinger.
No.
The
Put
worst.
a Giants jersey on Dinger. and-
Lucille's at least in the top 10 of mascots.
No.
I think he's a top 10.
No, probably the worst.
That's insane.
Philly Fanatics number 1, I think.
Easily
and then,
number 1.
you got to put Lucille in there.
What makes Lucille a good mascot?
Fun.
hilarious.
You got to
Fun?
see you're in the water. You got to seal. It's fun.
Name another mascot besides Philly Fanatic
Does a
that would
little thing
rank
with
higher.
with the sunglasses. Does a little hip shaking.
The Met.
Mr. Met.
Mr. Met.
Mr. Met's
Met's
good.
not bad.
Mr. Met is just a baseball, and that's awesome.
That's good.
That's good.
Giant baseballs.
The Brewer one is pretty cool.
Bernie
It
Brewer is
goes
good.
down the slide.
Bernie
At
Brewer
least
is
he
good.
used
Do
to.
they do the race there too?
the sausages, the hot dogs.
No,
the
there's one
sausages
where
are
you
good.
get to race this guy and he's super fast.
Oh yes.
Is that in the Brewer Stadium?
That's the
Flash
Braves.
or something?
That's the Braves or the Freeze or something.
The Freeze,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, and you can race the free. Yeah, it's like beat the Freeze or something like that.
Yeah, and he waits for you to go for like 10 seconds
Yes.
and then he goes.
Then he just smokes you. There's like been one guy who's won.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
That's a cool idea.
It is
but-
fun.
Yeah, and the Brewers have the sausage races where they
Yes,
have like
of
the
course.
different people. That's cool. But
And the A's got.
They got
Stomper?
Stomper.
Stomper?
I would
Stomper.
say Thumper, but
So do I.
whatever.
Yeah.
Who do the Yankees have?
Nobody.
The Yankees don't have one.
Yankees and
The
Dodgers
way-
don't have mascots.
The way it should be.
Yeah.
That is what.
No,
How do we
I would,
bring the kids in, Dan?
No
you gotta
fun.
have something cute out there, you know?
No fun. No fun. I mean, they finally are allowed.
No, I don't hate.
But they've
all,
always
I
been
don't
about
hate
it.
all mascots. Like I think Sharky is.
Sharky's great.
Sharky is a. I'm not going to go great.
It's great.
He's a good.
He's an elite level mascot.
He's
He's
not,
elite. Yeah,
not
let's be
elite,
honest.
not
He's an
elite.
S-tier mascot.
No.
yeah, he's elite. He's elite level. How about the tree? That might be worse.
the
than
Stanford
Daniel.
tree?
The Stanford tree.
Kind of frightening.
It stands. It's just chaos, is
And I
what it
won't.
is, though.
Well, I was
Sourdough
about-
Sam's pretty dope too. He can do break
Sourdough
dance.
Sam is terrible, and he represents a terrible
Can we
franchise.
all agree that Thunder, the former Warriors mascot, is the most
He
frightening
was
mascot?
best. He was doing
He
dunks.
was
No,
scary.
okay. Most frightening
Scary.
the Flyers.
Gritty
Gritty.
I like Gritty.
Gritty is terrifying.
Gritty's good.
with the eyes.
Yeah,
But like
Gritty.
a good terrifying.
Gritty is terrifying, and that's tier 1. That
He's top tier.
He's top
Philly
tier.
did a good job with their mascots for the most part.
Yeah, that's one thing that what's the Eagles? I'm assuming
Eagles
has
is
to
an
be
eagle.
has to be an
But just
eagle, right?
Whatever, fine. That's not way up there, but you know.
I'm going to jump a little bit ahead, but I feel it's like a good segue because we were just talking about Charlie Condon to talk about Bowman and go over some early Bowman sales. And, last week on Bowman Day, I did Veefriends, which we'll talk about some Veefriends coming up here in this show as well. But you know what's really like disheartening is I asked the shop, and the shop, you know, we have our shop here in the Bay Area, open 11 to 6 every day in Santa Clara, and then we have our breaks, and they're kind of two separate entities. And I asked the shop the other day, I said, how, you know, and they've been having some really good months. They've been selling like Series 2, Series 1, all the baseball products they've been doing really, really well with. And I asked them how much boxes they have sold, and this is as of today, and it was like 6 hobby, 4 jumbo, and 2 delight. It's the least amount of in-store sales that we've had on Bowman ever. So
Are you counting the shop website as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tough. So my thought, but the breaks are doing fine. People are getting into breaks. They're loving the breaks. The breaks are doing well. We're filling them up. We did 10, 20 cases of each one.
Well, I think I gave you the data for that. I want to say I don't know what the breakdown is off the top of my head, but it was probably close to same time frame, about 400 boxes that were digested in breaks.
Correct. So now my question is it priced too high, or is it there's just not a big enough name first Bowman wise, or a rookie that are getting people to come in and spend that? What's a hobby box now? $350?
Or 2. Well, yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, about that.
It has to be at least 3, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see. Right now, as we're recording this, 2025 Bowman hobby. That'll be the cheapest one.
Might have been 3. Could be 280
$250 on Fanatics. That's if it's still there.
Yes.
So $250. Some shops are selling them for $325.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the thing I was looking at is, well, I think we've still got some 2024 Bowman sitting around, which is a little cheaper, and I think is probably still, I know, depending on how you feel about Dylan Cruz right now, I know he's off to a slow start, but I think there's maybe a little more promise with that class. Again, all of this is also like, it's hard to predict the future. Like, there's going to be potentially some people, and you're going to see in the sales here, like, there's guys that I don't know if we counted on to be the biggest guys. A few of the guys, like JJ Weatherhold is selling, Roki Sasaki, despite some ups and downs starts, is still selling pretty well among his rookies. But there are a few guys that have surprised so far. A couple guys.
But I just feel like I love Bowman. I got back in this hobby with Bowman. I love prospecting. I love Elite back in the day, and now it's Prospect Edition. But like Bowman was always my jam, and I would be able to get boxes for like $100, $150 at the most. I think jumbos were like $150 when we got back in the hobby, right? So it's like, so you're okay getting a guy that you have to wait for, but like these are like priced so high now, $250 for one auto basically, and even more so for the Delight and the Jumbo for in-store purchases that. It's almost like they needed like a Skeens or needed somebody to draw people in. I don't think Roki's name's big enough yet. He's a pitcher. Charlie Condon plays for Dinger. So there's not a name. And
but this is kind of, if you go back on the data in the last 4 or 5 years, this is pretty much on par
with where it ends at.
With where it ends at. So like this is pretty much what Bowman has been. The price has been the last 4 or 5 years. Now, there might not be a player that we're talking about right now, but if you fast forward 3-4 years, there very well could be a player that everybody is chasing.
That's fine.
But that is buying on a big what if, and I hope this player turns into something.
I'm just confused at the lack of in-store sales on our end. I mean, could we have maybe marketed it better? I don't know.
Has the price point shifted to this being a primarily group break?
I think
product.
I think a big part of it is that.
Yeah.
I think a big part's that.
If it was $250,
mm-hmm.
if it was, or maybe let's say $150, $200 for a hobby box, then I do think more people would buy it. But I think with so many options of group breaks out there, and you can just kind of you can buy the Rockies in a full case break readily available.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of limit your risk because you're searching for the number one prospect in there.
Yep.
I think that's what people are being more inclined to do. Plus, you could also get in on some other teams that have some prospect autos in there that are going to be super cheap compared to the box price.
Right. I mean, because we're at $250 now. I think when me and you got back in the hobby, we're looking at like what, $70 on the hobby?
It was like 70, $80.
Yeah, I know times are different now, and
I mean we're talking like. That was 2010 in a super. I was $70 on a super hyped Steven Strasburg year.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The question is, I'm sure Topps is looking at this data as well, and maybe some stores did better than us. I mean, like I said, we've never been able to keep Series 1, Series 2, even Bowman Draft. Even Bowman Draft, we had people showing up on release day getting Bowman Draft, and it's just like the Bowman 2025 has just been like a little bit, underwhelming on in-store sales. Now, group breaks have been fine. But some early sales, and these are buy it nows, but looks like a Zaire Hope red auto, which one of the bigger chases from Bowman. Zaire Hope's an interesting case because he had his first Bowman in draft, so the first Bowman signification is in draft, but he didn't have an auto. So these autos will not have first Bowman. I hate when they do this because it's super confusing. 5 years down the line, people will be like, well, I don't want to buy that Zaire Hope because it's not a first Bowman. Well, it technically is his first Bowman auto. But anyways, right now people know.
So when was his first Bowman?
In 2024 draft.
Okay. So, but non-auto.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, they should, because technically this isn't his first Bowman.
But it's his first Bowman auto.
But it's not technically, he has a Bowman car. Like, if you were to change, I mean, could you put like first Bowman auto?
I guess they could. That might help with down the line of understanding why it doesn't say that because, say he becomes an amazing pro.
Because that is the card that you're going to want.
That's the card you're going to want. That's the number one card.
Over the first Bowman, that's a non-auto. This is the card that you want. But you're right. It could very well be a little confusing 5, 6, 7 years down the road.
Right. If he becomes a stud, he's the next Acuna. But you can see a red here. These are best offers, so I don't know what these ended at, but $9,999 on a red, $6,000 on a gold. These are all Zaire Hopes. A green, $1,900, a purple, a blue, $900, and another blue for $900. So obviously a lot of hype with Zaire Hope. How's he doing? He's like, 17, 18 right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's still look. There's a lot of guys in that Dodger organization that are doing really well.
It's what the Dodgers need.
Exactly. They need another really good young
all
stud.
They need is a great farm system to go along with their
OPS.
absolutely stacked lineup.
6 homers in 33 games, 286, 891 OPS. He's doing fine. He's only 20 years old, and they've got another prospect, Quintero, who's in here as a first Bowman, who he was just named Player of the Week. It's like perfect timing for him. He's on fire. Dodgers have 3 legit chases in this when you also account for.
Yeah, they definitely have been selling first over the Rockies.
Yep.
In breaks.
And Rockies, it's Condon and nothing.
Right.
And Charlie Condon is not off to a good start right now. And that, I think, is also playing a factor in why maybe there is a little bit of do I want to buy a box of where the lead guy is batting 180 right now in 25 games, only has one
single
home
A
run.
or triple A?
He's in high A.
High A. Wow.
He has one home run in 109 plate appearances right now.
He's hitting it a lot of loud outs is what I've heard.
Yeah. So
a loud $180.
The plus side of that is watched Bryce Eldridge last year with the Giants, where the first month and a half it was it's not quite there yet, and then right around mid-May, right around this time, completely changed.
Condon
looked like himself.
Drafted out of college, or was he a high school?
Drafted out of
college. He was going spikes.
Georgia was one of the top picks. He had 37 home runs in 60 games last year.
He should be on the fast track, right?
Yeah, that's what they'd like is for him to be their starting first baseman here in about 2 years.
Maybe tomorrow.
I'd be seriously.
Yeah,
maybe he can be the first ever rookie player coach.
Yeah.
So
he can just come up and not only just put him right in the middle of the lineup, but we can use a coach.
I think that's part of it.
He's a manager.
And frankly, the sales, you can see the sales right here. They're still, they're still good, and they're still what you would expect among a top prospect or one of the top chases. But I think he's being outsold by Zaire Hope a little. Some of the Zaire Hopes were higher numbered than this, but I think he's also being outsold by J.J. Weatherholt right now.
Purple's a good looking card, though.
The purple looks
The
purple nice with it.
It
looks really nice.
They did really with the jersey matching matching that perfect shade of purple.
It's nice.
That's
a piece of art. And you know what? His auto looks good too.
Yeah.
Purple auto sold for $1,300. Once again, these are buy it nows. There was a gold, but it looks like it's a gold wave, so not true gold.
Right.
$1,700 with one bid. A reptilian. God, they make so many colors every year.
It's a lot.
$2,500 on the orange reptilian, and a shimmer orange $2,500.
You just went over 2 oranges, and neither of them were your
Daddy's orange.
Your
Yeah.
daddy's orange. Your
No.
orange regular. That was a segment that had a lot to do with the Rockies.
A lot of Rockies.
We've talked about Rockies, but it's in the last like 3 or 4
I
episodes.
mean, look, when you've got the #1 guy in Bowman, you're going to get talked about. So, but
I love Coors Light.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good beer. JJ Weatherholt, though, feels like he's the guy who I think collectors have said, nope, it's you. You're who we're going with. Shortstop, infielder. Currently the highest bid, and this is as of May 12th, the highest bid, or the highest,
Whoa.
it's not bid. Yeah, you can see it. Listed at $29K for the Superfractor Crystallize. Obviously, probably won't sell for that. But,
I think they're on some crystals.
yeah, maybe.
Pitch them high, watch them buy.
But 2 reds that are currently, or actually one's a number to 25, excuse me, it's an orange. It just looks red in the picture. Two numbered autos there. The red currently with 32 bids as of this recording at 36.
There's a red X-Fractor too.
Jesus, I know there's so many.
God.
And then an orange wave at just over 1,000 with 22 bids.
All right, Weatherholt. Talk about him. What is he?
Weatherholt.
Shortstop.
I don't know a ton about JJ
Cardinals.
Weatherholt. He's a Cardinal. I know that
I'm
much.
assuming based on that price, he could probably hit home runs
I sure would hope he would hit home runs
for
for that.
$3,200.
Yeah,
I'm
for
pretty
that
sure
price.
he's going to hit some home runs.
There you go. Yeah, and his final season with his best season with West Virginia, 16 home runs in 55 games. Batted .449 in 2023. In 2024, played 36 games, batted .331. So it came down to earth a little bit. Now just batting only .331. And he's off to a good start. He's already up in Double-A right now.
Oh, okay. Fast track.
Yeah, he got immediately put in Single-A in 2024 out of college. Now is in Double-A. He's 22. He's probably going to be fast-tracked. Where he plays will be interesting because it feels like the Cardinals have about 25 players who can play shortstop, third base, second base. Like, they have so many of those guys. I mean, they've still got Mason Wynn there. They've got Brendan Donovan who can do all that. They've got Lars Nootbaar in the outfield. I'm sure they're going to be like, J.J. Weatherholt, can you play outfield?
Well, at least they don't have
only
to
$1
compete
million.
with Brandon Crawford anymore.
That's true.
You know
Won't
what I
have to
mean?
do that.
He's-
Nolan,
he's doing- makes the team.
he's probably the heir apparent to Nolan Arenado. That's my guess. Is that he is probably the guy who's gonna slip into that spot.
Actually,
yeah,
I'm surprised Nolan Arenado is still a Cardinal.
It doesn't make it. He probably won't be for much longer.
And yeah, if you guys are listening to this podcast, we are talking about Bowman. And if you're like on the fence about Bowman, we just talked about the Cardinals, the Rockies, and the Dodgers. So those are teams that you're seeing going off the board first in breaks. And those are the teams that everybody has those players on the most hype, as you can see with Weatherholt. To talk about hype, what do you guys think about this new Crystallize? I mean, obviously it looks like it's a play on Color Blast.
I love this insert. I think it looks really nice. I think you're right. It's totally a play on Color Blast, but it's different enough for me that that I think it's like totally unique to Bowman. It's not at the level of the animes. There's more of them, I think.
So it's like the middle if you broke up a crystal.
Right. If you broke those fancy, you can buy like those fancy rocks at like a gift shop or something. When you go to like a museum, like you know what I mean. It's basically that, and they're all colored according to the team, and then you've got like you can see that Jack Caglione, if you're watching, it's sold for $1,300. It's an orange version of that.
So it's got a little bit of orange
Right.
around the
but even just
outside.
the base version, the Luis Angel Acuna one, currently 16 bids on it as of this recording at $1,225.
That one's an orange too.
I think.
looks like.
I think.
Is that an orange?
I think
oh yeah,
Topps
it
is
is.
still.
So the base one for Jack Caglione at $615. So
still
So
trying
Charlie
to-
Condon base one, $1,200.
Right.
I think we're going to keep on seeing this. I think Topps is going to keep on trying to come out with these inserts and see what truly does stick.
Yeah. I think this
I
one
like
can
it.
stick. I think this looks really nice. It's like a Color Blast without being a Color Blast, which is kind of exactly where you want to be. You don't want. I think like the Helix is too much. Like
Yeah.
it's way like everything about that insert to me is just like you are just trying to do Color Blast. Like at least try to do something different. To me, this is something different.
And it's needed. I mean, we talked about it a couple shows ago. Like the Topps is, we talked about it in terms of basketball, but Topps is trying to find a insert that hits, and you know this is them trying it, and we'll see. I mean, early sales look like it's going to be something that works. But do you just keep it with Bowman? You got to keep it with just Bowman, right?
I think you keep this with Bowman. You got to find something for Topps Chrome. Helix is what they've been going with. It's fine. I mean, the secondary market for it's fine. I don't know. Personally, I'm not that into Helix. It just feels like too much of a copycat.
And some of the top Bowman auctions that are currently going live.
I think we've even gone overboard with some of the Panini stuff too. But I
mean, yeah. Look, everybody's trying to outdo each other with like all of these.
I feel like Panini is trying to outdo themselves at times.
That's true.
Like optic football when you have like the downtowns and then you have the uptown.
Oh yeah, now you got uptowns in clearly in Donruss.
Like what?
There you go.
But you look back, you're like, was it needed?
No.
Is it needed?
No.
Do we need it?
Oh, you know what? If you were talking about ones that I think we can get rid of, I kind of liked it at first, but home field advantage for baseball.
Oh,
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah,
but that isn't that their version of a downtown?
That's
It
what I'm
is,
saying.
but it just
That's why I'm
doesn't
like, we don't
work.
need it.
We don't need it.
Yeah, we don't need it.
No, but they need it. They
you know
need
what,
it.
though? And it's in a series 1. I guess it's fine in a series
They almost
1.
should have put it like a Topps Chrome and like it'd be
Yeah.
like sparkly, more sparkly.
Shiny.
Yeah, it's got that shiny foil, but that's about it. But yeah, here's your look at your top auctions at the moment. Roki Blue, number 150.
Color
$2,000.
match.
Color match. $2,000 for that.
With some
one.
time remain. Oh, it's sold. Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, sold. These are all ones that sold. There's a lot with time remaining. There's a lot that are. You'll see the next one. There's some that are buy it nows, or we can't confirm the actual price. But these are the ones that we know for sure. These, or for the most part, that these ones are pretty solid. And look who's there again. JJ Weatherholt, number to 50. Gold Wave. Sammy Stafora, I don't know that much about. Who's selling there?
Is that Cincinnati Red?
Cincinnati Red, and of course it's a
What
red.
about Big
number 5.
Poppy's kid?
Big Poppy's kid.
Not.
It's
Obviously
getting by
not.
name alone.
Okay.
And there's also
really
Jaden
is.
Fielder in the set as well,
Yes.
which is Prince Fielder's
That is crazy.
son.
Yeah, we did not.
which is
realize.
the first time I think that I've watched 3 generations of a player.
Yeah.
Now,
God, it's crazy
Cecil
to think.
to Prince
Yeah.
to Jaden.
Well, I
Well,
was even thinking like,
That's
wait.
my cue to retire.
Yeah,
Well,
I always said when I was able to witness 3 generations of baseball
Yeah.
players,
that's
I'm
a
out.
wrap.
And
Prince must have had him when he was young, right?
We looked
'Cause,
at.
like,
We actually looked it up because I was like, "How is that possible?" He retired young, and I think we looked it up. He's 41, so it's
I
not
remember
like
trying to collect Prince Fielder's
Right.
rookie.
yeah.
he
I
retired.
think I remember
at
trying
32.
to collect Cecil Fielder's rookie.
Yeah, there you go. He retired at 32. So like, well, wait, he's not that old. Like, how's this possible?
So he had his kid when he was like 20. Then.
2004, Jaden is born. 2005, Prince Fielder makes his MLB debut.
Jeez.
So there you go.
Wow.
That's where it times out. Because I do remember his kid being around at like the home run derbies
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, he
Like,
had the big hair.
he was
think.
very
Yeah.
he was all out there. So kind of reminiscent.
But
to
you
like
have
what Vlad
you
Jr.
have
was
that,
out there.
then you had like Darren Baker that was in prospects
That's right.
like not too long
That's
ago.
right.
And Dusty Baker and Prince Fielder are not close to the same age.
No.
No, I think Dusty was like 50 or 60 when
I
he
was
had
gonna say he's a
Darren.
little older
Yeah.
when he had Darren. I was gonna say it's crazy that like the 06 Derby, because wasn't Vlad Jr. there with Vladimir Guerrero, and then
Yeah.
Jaden Fielder was there with Prince Fielder. So you might have like 2 like, maybe in 5-6 years. The 20 whatever we're at, the 2030, dear God, 2030 home run derby might feature both Vlad Jr. and Jaden Fielder. So then we're really getting like, good Lord, this
It's
is
the lineage.
pack it up.
Did you guys know
World.
that the Kentucky Derby, that
Yes,
every
I saw
horse
that.
that raced in that Derby was a descendant of Secretariat?
That's crazy.
Every single horse
Yes.
had the bloodline of Secretariat.
I know Jason Worth is a horse owner.
I was
he?
going to say,
Yeah.
wait, where we going
So
with it?
I mean, we're talking about baseball, and I'm like, I gotta spin some baseball. But Jason Worth is but he owns a horse in the
Boy,
he owned a horse in a Kentucky Derby.
once again, just tells me, Secretariat, what a life. After,
After
horse
but
racing.
that horse couldn't be that old, right?
Secretariat?
No, it's
Yeah.
probably like great grandfather at this point,
Oh,
right?
for
Yeah,
sure,
it's like
yeah.
definitely
There's probably
lot
4,
of
5,
lanes.
6 generations of that. So yeah,
But
that's
but it has some DNA.
right of Secretariat.
yep.
Pretty
All
crazy.
20 of them in the race.
All 20 of them.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I didn't believe it when somebody said it. I had to look it up.
It's nuts.
Breaking news too. Did you see who got the first pick in the draft?
Don't
NBA?
tell me. Don't tell me. Washington.
What did Utah get it?
Nope.
Charlotte.
Oh, boy.
Nope.
San Antonio.
Nope.
Wait, this is great. Okay,
Whoa.
don't tell us.
Whoa. Washington?
Nope.
Did we just say Washington?
Portland.
Nope.
Whoa. Oh, boy. Where's Cooper Flag going?
Brooklyn.
No.
Oh, no.
We broke this down of, like, what are the best landing spots for him?
We went through all of them.
We did.
Where?
New Orleans.
Nope. We're replacing one pizza boy with another pizza boy.
Mavericks?
No
Yes,
way.
1.8% chance.
No way. The
yeah.
Mavericks?
It's rigged. It's rigged.
The Mavericks
It's
got
rigged.
the number
It's
one
rigged.
pick?
It's
Yep.
rigged. It's because Dallas is about ready to get moved out. The Mavericks are going to be gone. And now they got Cooper Flag, and now everything's okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got a text from a good friend of mine, and
Rigged.
1.8 chance.
That's
1.8% chance
insane.
to win the lottery. Spurs got number 2.
Wow.
76ers 3, Hornets 4 as it stands
That
right now.
is.
Oh, we didn't say 76ers.
76ers was the one where I was like, boy, if he goes to the Sixers, that's a pretty good spot. I don't even know what to make of that. Nico Harris, you should be giving Adam Silver. You should just, like, frame that draft ball and just be like, thank God.
Go ahead and let Luka go because you're going to
Oh,
get
that was
Cooper
that was
Flag.
actually that was a good thing that what you said, because I think you said it maybe on Twitter that the Fire
Oh,
Nico
yes, that's currently happening. We didn't put it in, but there's a
is
Fire
up-
Nico jersey.
Fire Nico 77 Luka jersey
He's on Golden.
is on Golden, and people are making a big deal about it.
Signed by Luca.
Signed by Luka, but Doug actually had a good point. The number itself was probably signed, and then it was put on the jersey.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know that
Like,
for sure. But
But it's not being sold that way. It's
There's-
being
there
sold.
is
It's
no
being
way.
sold like somebody made this jersey, handed it to Luka, and Luka signed it. I don't think Luka would sign that jersey.
I don't think so either. Maybe he did, but I'd be shocked. I bet he'd look at that and go,
or,
can't
I
do
mean,
this.
better yet, it could have been a Doncic jersey. They took the nameplate off after and put Fire
That
Nico
too.
on after. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think he knew that it said Fire Nico. He wouldn't.
But
wouldn't
look
sign
how
it.
much press it's getting. Look how much it's going to sell for.
Yeah.
Does this change that? Does this make that jersey sell for more, or does it like halt it in its tracks?
I know what I'm going to do now. I figured it out, dude.
But-
I'm going
but
to
you know-
get Barry to sign a 5, and I'm going to put it on a 51. I'm going to put Dowd, and it's going to be a John Dowd
Barry Bonds signed
signed
jersey.
jersey.
It's true.
Luka
That'd be a good one.
is up for his extension. There's no guarantee that Luka is going to stay
With the Lakers.
with the Lakers.
He's not going back to Dallas.
What if he goes back? What if he goes back to Dallas?
There was
And you have-
one
you have-
tweet
you have
though.
Cooper Flag, Luka, and old Clay
Kyrie.
and Kyrie,
You
and
got
old
Anthony
Kyrie and old.
Davis. Don't forget, you got Anthony Davis there still.
Oh yeah, Anthony Davis. That's a pretty good starting five.
Well,
Suddenly, Anthony Davis, Kyrie, and
Kyrie went
Cooper
live.
Flag
This
doesn't
was
sound that
confirmed.
bad.
Kyrie went live after the season or when he got hurt, and Luka was in. You need to get out of that organization in his chat. So I don't think we'll see Luka back as a Dallas Maverick. So
Cooper Flag.
probably a better
sorry,
chance
buddy.
of him being a Golden State Warrior than a Dallas Maverick again, which neither of them will happen. But Cooper Flag, yep, get your
Rigged.
Dallas Mavericks cards.
Rigged.
rigged.
Rigged. 1.8% chance. I'm sure that's all over Twitter right now. All
I
over
bet-
X.
well, I mean,
Nuts.
and poor Utah.
Utah didn't even get top 4.
Yeah, Utah's like they're
Didn't
like
even get
they're all,
top
they're all, we
4.
suck so bad for a reason.
Right.
Like where?
They still have never gotten the number 1 pick. Still never.
not even in the top 4. And I don't know if they just did the top 4 and they're going to do the rest later. I don't know how that
I
works
thought-
out.
No,
I
but-
thought-
they just show that.
I thought
usually
they were.
it's the
I
other
thought they
way.
were
They go
guaranteed.
backwards.
I thought they were guaranteed a top 4.
I think they're guaranteed a top 5 or something. I don't know. I'd have to look, but that's really crazy. I can't believe that they got the number 1 pick. It's just nuts. Boy, yeah, I'm trying to look up the order right now, but yeah,
The Photoshop guys are like, man, Duke blew to Dallas. It's not
Well,
that much of a difference.
Well,
Easy.
we do know this. We do know that as far as market, the Dallas Mavericks
This is
market
good.
could handle a big rookie because we dealt
Mm-hmm.
with it with Luka.
I mean, literally all the Luka collectors might just be like, all right, I'm going to collect Cooper now. It's time to collect for Cooper Flag. Easy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's end the show talking a little about Veefriends Chrome, which last episode we had Gary V on, a special edition of The Hype. Great, motivating podcast. Of course, what Gary does is just tells stories, and it was a great show. So if you haven't listened to that, you should listen to that first. But Veefriends Chrome came out last week. We got a few cases, and it was the first product, and I'm not even like playing around, and I'm not doing any kind of puff piece for Gary V because he came on the show. There was like everybody in the shop, our employees, our breakers, like we're opening blasters or buying boxes or getting into breaks. Like I was just like, I hadn't seen this in like forever, like that much excitement around the office over this product. And I think social media is like confused, especially people that aren't hip to, Veefriends and haven't been around for the last 5 years that have seen what he's done with it. People are just like, well, what is this? Like, it's like only kids are collecting this, right? And it's like, no, I think it's mostly adults.
It's actually quite the opposite.
It's
Because,
quite the opposite.
I mean, based on the price point, unfortunately, I think it's marketed with kids in mind, but the price point has got to the point where it's insane.
I mean, when it was originally sold on Topps.com, like what, $100 for a hobby, and I think blasters were, I don't even remember, like 50, 40, 50. I can't remember originally.
Yeah.
So those price points, he's clearly like, yeah, this is supposed to be one that you can have you can rip with the family, all this. But yeah, I mean, the thing last week that stuck out when we were talking, he really made sure to push the like, I want to make sure you get a return on investment because a lot of modern sports card boxes, trading card boxes, you just don't get that ROI anymore. And you talk that big game and go, okay, well maybe, but then just seeing what cards were selling for, and again, I have been a very vocal doubter. I told him myself, and I think at a certain point I was like, well, I'm looking at these sales on eBay. I'm looking at what cards are going for, even some of the lower end, like. It's hard to argue. That's why I think I kind of was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Why not? I'll look at these and it's also the first version of this that you think, well, maybe down the road it'll be something that you want to hang on to. So I don't know. It certainly I was not expecting to be in on this as much as I was.
Yeah, I mean, in the this hobby can get negative a lot on social media, and I know sometimes we thrive on that on this show as well, and looking at prices or scams and stuff like this. I mean, a lot of this message is all positive. Each character has its unique set of why it's called that, like Empathy Elephant or Decisive Duck, or all these names mean something in the world of Veefriends, and it's all spun in a positive light. And I think people have picked their characters. There's 102 in this run. There's 251 total, but there's 102 in this run. And very, 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 very lucky Black Cat is kind of like your goat, your logo. That's what people are kind of chasing. And I think he's done a great job of bringing in the different like sports chases. You have the Erupt, which was done by the original Kaboom artist. So you have maybe basketball fans that are going to want to chase that. You have the 1975 Topps design for baseball, which is Gary V's favorite baseball set. So, you got a little bit of baseball crossover there. And then you have the Y2K insert for Pokemon. So he's kind of bridged all of that. He's got one-on-one sketches. He's got, the famous superfractors that are in here as well. And these are all designated, except for Notorious Ninja, as their very first Chrome, because Notorious Ninja's first Chrome was at a New York Comic-Con, so he doesn't have it on the card. But you can see sales here, $4,500 for a sketch, $4,240 on a Black Cat manga speckle, so you got the mangas in there as well. $2,900 on a Black Cat purple to 20, another sketch for $2,500, another sketch for $2,500. So there's definitely some big sales on this, whether you love or hate it. There is a big community that he's grown from an NFT, where that's where they actually started, and then they went into the Zero Cool Veefriends Series 1, which were those doodles, those famous bad doodles that people say, and now they've grown into these actual cartoon characters, which there is YouTube cartoons of these. He's got comic books out. He's got a huge line of merchandise. And interesting to note, people are willing to pay $5,000 for the Sapphire release of this set. So there will be a Sapphire set coming out, and supposedly there's only 600 boxes made. And if you have the Gift Goat NFT, those people are buying them first, which I think makes up for about 550 of the boxes. So there's not going to be a lot made to public. I think what he did well, too, is he didn't make a lot. So he knew how much he needed to make. He didn't flood the market, and the demand is outweighing the supply right now, and that's why you're seeing the prices go crazy.
It's something new. It's something different. I'm I think I mentioned it last week. Like the thing that what he's essentially trying to do is reverse engineer hype, and it's interesting.
What does this do for
sure.
the Zero Cool release?
The other thing.
Like, does that?
I think it only helps it.
Does that make it more desirable?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Or
those.
does it make it less desirable because people want the shiny chrome?
I mean, I would prefer the shiny chrome, obviously, but I think it probably makes it more desirable if the brand just keeps growing and growing.
I get
Yeah.
the collectability. I know what I'm into and what I like to collect, and I don't know if this is like something that I would truly get into. But I understand it, and the numbers don't lie. And I think he did an amazing job with the marketing behind it. And I got to say, my Twitter feed, I feel like when this product came out, like 70% of the hobby comments I were seeing in post were all VeeFriends related. So it was probably one of the bigger releases I've seen in a while.
I mean, you don't release a product on Bowman Week and expect it to be
It was
as
more
much,
talked about
if
than
not
Bowman.
more
And again,
talked about.
like you either love it or you don't like it and you don't have to collect it, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see a lot of people who are like hating on it and crapping on it just because it's not their thing, which I think is probably the wrong way of going about doing it. You can just not be like, it's not for me. But but you cannot deny that like there obviously is a demand for it, and there are people out there that want to collect it.
And I mean, obviously, he's wrote marketing books. He has his own marketing team. You can even I don't know if you still can, but there was at one point we were thinking about hiring VaynerX to help us market our brand. And what they've done well too is they have a store locator. They have they have a full checklist with odds. And this is outside of Topps' website, so they've made it a point to really educate the collectors or anybody that might be interested in VeeFriends with their own message, and I think that's kind of speaking volumes. They have shirts and merchandise for every single character. They also have one that I've been noticing people wear these special shirts, and I guess they do a drop called 555 Fan, where you can get a limited edition, like nostalgic shirt from them, like using designs from the past and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so they just do a really good job of like, and then they get on camera. Their team goes on Whatnot or Fanatics Live, and they give away stuff, and they really educate the collectors out there on why people would want this and what the message is. And I think with their also there's like a quiz. I feel like I'm really selling VeeFriends right now, but there's a quiz to find out what character you are. And I've seen people like myself. I was Decisive Duck, so I latched onto that. Now I'm trying to collect Decisive Duck. So some good stuff. Kids' books, cartoons, comics. He's really trying to grow this brand. So.
It's a familiar feeling. Like if you've collected stuff like Pokemon, you've collected pop culture stuff. There's a familiar feeling, but at the same time, I think the thing that's making it stand out is it's also something wholly unique and new in the hobby that we haven't, and that's always something we want. By the way, I had to put it up on the slide because you hit that erupt. I don't know if this is the same one, but I bet it is. That cow, the Common Sense cow.
Yeah,
that was hit.
I hit the erupt with Gary in the room.
With Gary V. Sold for $1,500.
Oh, there's so many people. The conspiracy, the tinfoil hats came out. I mean, we had bought in some cases from Blowout. We did get some from Topps. We didn't get that much. I've seen other breakers have a lot more than we did. But Gary V joined us on Fanatics Live, which, I mean, Cody spent 5 hours trying to figure out how to get him on Fanatics Live.
We did it.
We did it,
and we got that clip.
Yeah. The hard work pays off. It almost felt like Gary V wrote that situation for us. But, like, it was funny because he joined us for 20 minutes, and in the middle of a double case break, I was in box like 7 or 8, and that card came out. And it was the best card of the day, but it happened to be when Gary V was on the stream with us. Yeah. So, of course, everybody's like, oh, God, this couldn't be more rigged than rigged and all this other stuff. It's like, guys, no. It was, yes, stars aligned, but we did not get any special boxes shipped from anywhere that said don't open this until Gary V's on. So it just happened to be that, and that's the way it worked out. But I could definitely see when people see clips like that, oh, Gary V's in there, and they hit that card. Oh, yeah, right. So but it wasn't that way.
Hey, we're getting comments on our latest box break video. We did Resurgence. Literally, the last card we pulled was a Jaden Daniels RPA. And there's a few comments like, oh, nice loaded
breakers get the loaded
nice
boxes.
Loaded box from Topps there. Like, what do you, I don't know.
The one we're giving the cards away for free?
We're giving it away.
Honestly,
Right.
I mean,
That's
hey,
the other thing. I'm like,
okay, wrap your head around that then.
right. It's like, okay, do you not want it then? I'll fine, whatever.
Oh,
I mean, and with this next statement, I'm going to say we are honest and we are transparent. But I think if somebody sent me a box and said there's a 101 Superfractor in there, I think we might open that before it hits the camera feed. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, it's not. We're not going to sell the $130 spot for Common Sense Cow and give and just know that card's in there. So it's all. We don't know what's in the boxes. No one knows in the building what's in the boxes. We get the boxes from GCI or whoever prints for Topps.
We don't have CT scanners.
We don't have CT scanners.
Go through our hours and hours of footage of every break we do every single day, and there's a lot of duds. There's a lot of duds.
Well, that's the thing. You're bound. The more cases you open, you're bound to get a decent card here and there.
But you're not gonna. And everybody who has a social media team, they're not gonna clip the dud boxes and put some marketing fuel behind the dud box.
I was about to say, maybe we do this for a week and be like, see?
Look how bad this case was.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not just us. I mean, it's just bad marketing to do. I mean, look,
of course.
It could work. It could be good marketing.
It'd be funny.
It could be opposite day, and we just
just be like, you know what? I appreciate your guys' honesty. I'm in. I'm buying.
No, then the narrative will be like, well, you guys should do something for these customers that didn't do well in this break.
There's
no
way to
win. You
win.
guys should blah blah blah.
There's no way to win.
There isn't. But yeah,
I don't know how we get negative comments about loaded boxes when we're basically giving the we're giving the cards away for free.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're typing something out like that,
I appreciate the comments. I'll take any
we'll
comment.
take it.
Yeah. Just keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah, I'm glad you watched the video. If you comment negatively, that's fine too.
Precisely.
Hey, you want to do 2 negative comments, that's fine. If it's so get you so angry, if you want to do 2 or 3 comments, that's also greatly appreciated.
Yep. Well, guys, make sure you guys use those codes for soccer breaks. Do the soccer 10 for your upcoming soccer breaks this week, and also check us out for Flawless Baseball. We've got Resurgence has been a fantastic break. We didn't even talk about that today. Resurgence has been great, as we talked about with the Jaden Daniels hit on YouTube. Still got time to enter in and win that, too, by the way, if you watch Cody's preview rip of Resurgence. So lots of stuff about more Bowman. So if you want to chase Weatherholt like we were talking about, or Charlie Condon, or we didn't even talk about red rookies either. I mean, red rookies are in there as well. So
I mean, look, there's you said it. There's X-Fractors, there's red waves, there's regular, your good old-fashioned reds, and they're all, the market is still hot for them.
And we didn't talk about Skeens. But Skeens has got his card up in
Wait, can we just show
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Can we just show the picture real quick?
Yeah.
Can we just show it to people watching at home? Look at this thing. What are we doing? It is, like, I had to put it from Zoolander. Is this a card for ants?
Yeah.
What are we doing with that? That is insane the way they're displaying that. It is, if you're listening, it is like, imagine the wall, maybe in your living room. If you got like a standard living room, the wall in the back of your living room or whatever. And they got it decorated with the Clementi Bridge. And then in the middle, they've got this cool little Paul Skeens thing, but then they've got a giant frame that looks like a big version of the Beckett slabs where they put the book in it. That's what it looks like, except even smaller.
Yeah, it looks like it's
so
a mini.
unflattering.
And then it has a fence around it.
And then you got a fence, which then I had to point out, it's basically set up the same way as the Mona Lisa is in the Louvre.
Yeah.
Like, bizarre. Absolutely.
No, Mona Lisa's easier to see.
The Mona Lisa is easier to see, and I feel like the thing I always hear when people go see the Mona Lisa is a lot smaller than you think it'd be.
How bad does he have to be? Say he becomes John Rocker. How long do they keep that card up?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Yeah, he's doing fine this year.
He's doing
not
fine.
Quite
Yeah, he's
what
doing
he was
fine.
last year.
But I'm saying, let's say next year he goes,
Right.
2-20 with a 6 ERA, and then then he's out. He's out of the league. It's got to pull that down, right?
Let's say he has like a good career. Like let's compare him. Let's say he has like a Johnny Cueto career.
It's a good career.
Good career.
Yeah.
Don't know if I can justify
don't know
a
if-
Johnny Cueto display.
It's so. It's like. It is literally what we complain about with those BGS or PS or it's BGS that did it. With the book slabs.
That Dick's location
It's
better
so
hope that he
rough.
is a career pirate.
Yeah. I think the idea is that this moves around. This is a mobile setup that they have here for the display of the card. But again, just Just
a
put
mobile.
it, just like do it like they do at the shows, where it's just behind a glass and it's just sitting on top of a table. Like that's all you need to do.
Like in a glass cube.
Right. That's all
In
you
a
need
cube.
to do. This is too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's cards don't display well as museum pieces. I don't think.
No,
in this
they
situation.
don't. If they only do if you then put it with a bunch of other cards.
Yeah.
Like if you have it
A
among
whole set.
right. If you got it among a set, fine. One tiny little card in a giant display case doesn't look good.
We'll have to see it in person. But I know Sports Card Investor was out there. There's a few videos of it being unveiled, and cool,
Yeah.
very cool.
Like,
Better bring
Where
your
is
what do
that
they
thing?
call it? Is it
Bring your magnifying glass.
A monocle?
Bring a monocle, bring a magnifying glass, bring your binoculars, whatever you need, because you're not
They
going
should
to be
have
able to see it.
Actually, you know what? They had a telescope set up like right in front of it, so you just have to go up. You just look at it.
Or could you make it like
funny.
the bat the bat signal where it's like small but like it's magnified out like
That's what you'd have to do,
You know?
yeah. Or you're like go, tuk, 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 you know, like a little like a microscope or something. Just keep getting more and more. Yeah.
yeah.
Weird.
I love the Zoolander reference. That's a good one. that is a good,
a good movie.
card for ants. What is it? A house for ants. What was that?
Museum
school,
for-
museum, school.
Center for Ants. That's what it is.
yeah. That's
It's been a while
awesome.
since I watched it.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys next week. We're getting close to 400. We got to do something special. So we got 11 more episodes to get to 400.
Crazy.
Is that at the National again? Are we going to hit the National?
I
Gonna be at
think
400
we're
again?
just after the National. Now that we've done a couple of like special episodes and
Okay.
stuff in between, I think we pushed the calendar to just after the National.
Just
Cool.
after.
That works.
There you go.
That
Gives
works.
us some time to decide what craziness we're going to do.
That's
But,
right.
all right, guys. We'll see you guys next week on The Hype. Peace.